Well, as always, Mondays are the most boring day starting the week. However, on this particular Monday, for all of you, if you guys are big fans of the Yoshi wrestling scene or of Japanese wrestling in general, you're always in the right channel. So today we have, of course, ChocoPro's much recent event, number 2, the 427, featuring most of their matches, or should I say all their matches, tag teams. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And as you all know, Tokyo Pro Wrestling had their recent event, the finals of the Futari Wa Princess Max Heart Tournament. Who will walk out as this year's tag team tournament champions? Will it be, of course, Palm the Inhaler, or should I say Palm Harajuku and Max the Impaler, or Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao? Which one of them will be the team that win it? Well, we'll just have to find out. And then, of course, we have Sendai Girls in their recent event in Shinjuku FACE, featuring the main event, the Sendai Girls World Tag Team titles. Bobo Momo Banana defends their belts against Red Energy, who will walk out victorious. So we will see what happens until then. And then, of course, we cap up our episode as always with some news updates, giving you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. It's time, of course, to flame on. So let's begin with our first review, and that is ChocoPro. Okay, ChocoPro. This is their latest event. This took place recently on February 8th at Ichigai Square, number 427. Now, of course, as usual, we have an opening, but this time it was conducted by none other than Too Much Energy Chiko Shikawa. So she opened up the show, giving the greetings, the infos on all the matches, yada yada yada. But, however, let's begin with the match. Our first match, we have tag team action. So we have Kaho Hiromi. She teams up with Sayaka. They take on Chiko Shikawa and Mei Suga. Now, some of you may think this is going to be interesting because A, We know Kaho and May are almost similar in different ways. I mean, May, I like to call her the little slime devil, while Kaho is the childish girl who likes to have a little bit of fun. But the real question is, how is this going to play out? Well, um, I don't know exactly what May did. She applied like a somewhat version of the full Nelson, but instead of like Kaho being standing up, her legs were entangled with May's legs, like kind of similar what's her name, Mayu Iwatani would do when she applies either like the standing modified Dragon Sleeper. So I can call this one maybe a standing full Nelson. So that allowed Kyle to, of course, tap out and allow for May and Chi win the match. Now, our next match, we have Hiroi Iwata teaming up with Evolution's very own Soy. They take on Nonaka Seto and Sayaka Obihiro. Now, of course, as always, you would think in some capacity. You got Soy and Hiroi. Both of them have bit of a lesser experience in their wrestling craft, and that would be a definitive factor here. But in the end, it was, of course, Obi with the Obi magic on Hiroi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our main event, we have Rekka and Shota taking on CDK's Masahiro Takanashi and Chris Brooks. Now, of course, the match was going well, but unfortunately, you all know that CDK likes to play a little dirty, like to use unnecessary tactics. One of the ones they've done in the past is lock an opponent in the bathroom during the Chocolate Square platform, and they did that to Rekka, so they lock him up. But for some odd reason, Chris Brooks decided to pick a fight with May, and he got it coming. But he did help Shota, of course, to deal with his 2-on-1 scenario. But he was lucky enough to free Rekka from the bathroom. But that was not enough, of course, because Rekka was the one who ended up being defeated by the praying mantis and double pinned by both members of CDK. And just like that, uno, dos, tres, it was over. Now for our drunken tournament. Now I wasn't too sure what to expect on this one, but I'll skip the end anyway. That way you guys know who won. The person who won this one is none other than Masahiro Takanashi. And just like that, it was over. Now I do know there is an upcoming ChocoPro event number 428. I might do that in the next episode, but we'll just wait and see, okay? But for now, we'll end things here with 427 and move on with Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Okay, Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling's the fifth Futari Wa Princess Max Heart Tournament Final. Now, let me give you guys a brief thing what this is all about. For those who know this, at the start of the year, Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling does this elimination tag team tournament, and the winners will get an opportunity to challenge for the Princess tag team titles. So we have many people who won this tournament, so this is the fifth. But the real question is who will walk out as the winner. We'll get to that in a bit. So let's begin how the show started. As always, we have Sayuri Namba with her usual greetings and giving the info on the matches. But of course, we did see a performance with Up Girls as always. Now, our very first match, we have Ivy Steels, Kira Summer, and Shino Suzuki taking on Chika Nanaze, Akaya Toribami, and Yoshiko Hasegawa. So you probably ask yourselves how this goes out. I wasn't too sure. I do know that Ivy Steele has the least experience or so. Not much about her. But, however, it was Yoshiko Hasegawa with the stretch muffler onto Shino Suzuki. And, of course, Suzuki had no choice but to tap. Next up, we have singles action. We have Mifu Ashida taking on Yuki Kamifuku. Now, Mifu Ashido, I haven't seen her that much. All I know is that she came from Ice Ribbon, but she seems like she's getting a little better in her wrestling craft. But unfortunately, it was not enough because Yuki Kamifuku applied the famous sir, and then 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Haruna Neko and Mahiro Kiru. They take on Raku and Ram Kaicho. Yes, it's always lovely to see those two team up because, they're in fact married. Well, not in that type of way, but you know what I mean. Anyway, But however, you probably would expect my hero with her usual apologetic mannerism, but that was going to play out because Neko was the one who ended up taking the fall with, of course, by Raku, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Wakana Uehara. She takes on Arisu Endo. I have to say, Arisu Endo has really grown up so much. I wasn't expecting too much honor, but she was able to pick up a good victory by applying a backbreaker, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, well, you got a very bit of a up girls showdown here. You have Ura Takami and me and my what's her name? Oh yeah, Miyu Watanabe. Now, of course, many of you will probably would think this match is going with Miyu Watanabe because A, we know she's strong, we know she's capable of taking care of herself. But one thing that was surprising me is how she ended this match. She didn't use either the torture rack type or the teardrop or that new submission move that she always try. Well, she took her out with the laser beam. If you guys don't know what that is, you've seen how you're trying to throw a ball, right, like a pitcher. Well, as you all know, Miyu Watanabe has a background of softball. Well, she used that technique, and people call it the laser beam. And just like that, she just knocked her down, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Haru Kazushiro take on Yuki Aino. So, of course, many of you would think this match will definitely fall into Yuki Aino. We know she has more experience. I know many people would say that we'd like to see her step up her game a little more now that she is no longer in the shadows of what she had with her sister. But I have to say she has improved a lot, and she applied, of course, the inverted DDT, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we have Toga and Rika Tatsumi taking on Imawari and Mizuki. Now, remember, this is a preliminary match to come because, as you probably know, Rika Tatsumi has an opportunity to take on Mizuki for the Princess of Princess title. So you can think this is a preview before that day. So the real question you ask yourselves, who will get the momentum for this match? Well, in this one, it was Rika Tatsumi when she applied, of course, the twist of fate on Imawari. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, this is our only championship match, and it was fitting for the semi-main event. We have the International Princess Championship. Zazumi makes her first title defense against Jada Stone. So you ask yourselves, how will Zazumi overcome it? Jada Stone is a much taller and stronger individual. I mean, I know Zazumi has grown significantly. She was that kind of a cute butterfly type of girl that you probably would, Bumblebee, you will see. But, however, she has grown a lot for the last couple years, and she was able to pick up the win when she applied the Ring of Bell, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And of course, she did her usual thing with the post-match promo, but all of a sudden, Arisu Indu, her own tag team partner from Daisy Monkey, has issued the challenge for the International Princess Championship. And I think this is a good thing because, of course, we want to see these girls grow up and achieve success not only as a tag team, but also in, of course, as individuals. So I'm pretty sure this could happen at what was it, at the Grand Princess in March. So we probably will get that officially settled right there. Now, our main event is the finals of the Futari wa Princess Max Heart Tournament. We have team number one, Hyper Mizaru, who is our resident superhero, and of course, Big Kaiju Shoko Nakajima. They take on Palm Harajuku and Max the Impaler. Now, many of you, by just looking at this match, you would think, okay, this match is going to go straight to Max the Impaler and Palm Harajuku. You ask yourselves, why? Easy. You would think in some capacity, Max the Impaler is a scary individual. Palm was afraid of her from the very first time they met, but she learned to love her and treat her like if they were equals, despite, of course, of their own individualities, if you guys know what I mean. But of course, Pamarajuku's dream was to win the tag team belts with Max, and she believed this was the perfect opportunity. And of course, we would definitely see some dirty tricks coming from Hyper Mizaru. I mean, with the cold spray and then using the bike, all of that. But however, Pamadajuku ended up on the wrong side of the senton by by um, Nakajima, and just like that, 1, 3 winners, and they are our tag team tournament winners. I mean, it's disappointing for Palm and Max, and I know deep down they would love to have another opportunity, and I will definitely would love to see those two become tag champions. But for now, we do know for a fact Nakajima and Hyper Masao will probably challenge for the Princess Tag Team belts, and that's only soon enough. But we'll see what happens. We haven't heard a response from both Yamashita or Maki Ito yet. But for now, we'll just wait. Until then, let's just move on to our next and final review, Sendai Girls. Okay, our final review, Sendai Girls, and this took place recently, today. Oh, no, this past Sunday. My bad. Uh, at Shinjuku FACE. Nothing too special on this one, but except just a title match, but we'll get to that. Our first match, we have Yuna versus Chi Chi in a non-title match. Remember, Chi Chi is the current Sendai Girls Junior World Champion. Now, if Yuna was able to defeat Chi Chi, she would catch an opportunity to become the next challenger. But unfortunately, as you know, Chi Chi has grown up a lot. She has developed greater wrestling craft. How she was able to pick up a good pinfall on her by applying a very interesting maneuver, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our next match, we have tag team action. We have Yuta Suzuki and Ryu Mizunami taking on Veni and Lady Destroyer Hiroyo Matsumoto. Now, of course, there's going to be some interesting moments. I wasn't too sure where this one was going to go, but however, it was Hiroyo Matsumoto who applied she had Suzuki on top of her shoulders, and then she lifted her up and put like a somewhat version of the backbreaker, but instead it's like knee to the gut by her flying down to it, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have, of course, a singles action. We have Riko Kawahara taking on Dash Shizako. Now, of course, just to be redefined, those who know Dash, she is a hardcore wrestler. She would get involved in that. It was just a straight up match. But however, there were some great moments of this match. But unfortunately, Riko Kawahara was unsuccessful in this match because it was Dash with the frog splash. 1, 2, 3. It was over. Now, when it comes to the Sendai Girls promotion, you know you want to hear from the founder and the final boss herself, Meiko Satomura. Now, of course, they talk about their upcoming event in March, the top of the Yoshi Wrestling. So basically, I'll put that, it's already been set at the news update, so we'll get to that as soon as possible. Now, our next match, we have tag team action. We have Zones and Nanane Takahashi teaming up. They take on Manami and Shihiro Hashimoto. So some of you may think, okay, is it possible that Manami and Big Hash could win it since they are the homegirl girls? I mean, yes. I mean, that's obviously what's going to happen. Of course, we were going to see some interesting moments. Now, there was a moment where, of course, Nana Takahashi had her legs locked, and Manami was trying to get the people to back her up, like going, whoa, whoa, and, Nana's like, nah. So she shut that down. But however, Nana was the one who picked up the win, or the one who took the fall. It was, in fact, Zones when Big Hash applied a power bomb, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And then, of course, during the post match promo, Big Hash picked up the microphone and she talked to Nana Takahashi. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what that's about. Now, as you all know, Nana Takahashi will be making her retirement on the first year of Mighty Gold since they were launched. So basically, from here all the way to then, um, she'll be picking up matches. So it wouldn't surprise me if Big Hash is requesting a match against her before she retires. And I'm pretty sure that could happen. So yeah, it hasn't made official yet, but we'll stick close to it. Now, on to our main event. We have the Sendai Girls Tag Team Championship match. We have Red Energy, Miyuki Takase, and Mika Iwata. They take on Bobo Momo Banana, Yurika Oka, and Mio Momono. So basically, you would think, okay, this is going to be a fun match. Now, I know that Mika Iwata has been the world champion, but I don't recall if she ever been tag team champion. That's the thing. But she's always had a great relationship and cohesion with Miyuki Takase. So I thought this match was unbelievably good. I enjoyed it so much, with what they from both teams. But unfortunately, like the old saying goes, someone has to walk out as the winner, and that team was none other than Red Energy. When of course Awada applied a somewhat of a driver on Yurika Oka, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, just like that, brand new tag team champions. Now, during the post match promo, I don't know what Miyuki Takase said to, of course, Oka or Mio, but I'm sure that they get the standing ovation. But however, like any other moment when it comes to, of course, winning any championship match, it doesn't matter what promotion. There's always going to be a challenger, and this time the surprise challengers are none other than High Mate from Stardom, EXV members Micah and Honoka. So basically, they issued a challenge. And we'll get to that a bit. That information is also in the news update. So we'll get to that as well. So for now, we are officially done with all reviews. Let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin exactly with the promotions with their upcoming events. Later on the 15th of February, as you probably know or not, AAA will be doing their latest tour, Alancia. And amongst this tour, they just announced Mustafa Ali will be participating. Yep, so he's going to make a trip to Mexico and appear. This is going to take place in Mexico City, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see how that grows. So I'll let you guys know if anything on that particular day what happens. The following day, on the 16th of February, Deadlock Pro Wrestling will have their No Pressure event. They just announced that the DPW Women's World Championship will be on the line in a Chicago street fight since, of course, ironically, their show is in Chicago. And Danny Luna defends her belt against Hyan. Now, on the 23rd of February, RevPro will be making a live appearance in Sheffield, and we have a tag team match that's been announced. One called Manders will team up with the former undisputed British heavyweight champion Michael Oku. They take on Liam Slater and Leon Slater. Nope, they're not relation, guys, because not to be racial here, but Liam, he is white, while Leon Slater is black. So no, I mean, you can call them the Slater boys if you want, but they're not related. In case anybody asks. Now, as you all know, I did talk about the Sendai Girls upcoming event, Top of the Yoshi Wrestling, that will take place on the 19th of March in Yoyogi. Two matches have been announced. I mean, there was plenty more, but I only caught one of these two. We have a hardcore match. Dash Shizaka will take on, of course, Risa Serra. That's going to be one hell of a match. And then, of course, the tag team titles will be defended. As you know, Red Energy, Miki Takase, and Mika Awada, who just recently obtained these belts, will defend their belts against EXV's very own from Stardom, Micah and Hanako. So that's going to be interesting to hear. Now, West Coast Pro on the 22nd of March, they will be doing the West Coast, Best Coast. Two things have been announced. Roy Zoxix will be making his return. And then, of course, we have the West Coast Pro Tag Team titles will be defended. The Crush Boys, Titus Alexander and Starboy Charlie, defend their belts against Grizzled Young Veterans. So that's going to be one hell of a match. Now, as you all know, the ladies of CML will be making their presence known in Japan for the upcoming Lucha Fiesta 3 on the 23rd. Uh, one match have been announced. We have Tabitha. She teams up with Meisira. They take on Shanyota and Saran. So we'll see things how they'll fall on that one. Now, as for the Las Vegas events that we have, West Coast Pro announced for the Vegas vacation that will take place on the 17th. DDT's very own Maho will be participating. And as for the Prestige, nothing to lose. Hold on, didn't write it down. Shit. Oh, yeah, Shun Skywalker from Dragon Gate will be making his appearance. So that's pretty much what we hit. Now for our developments here. Many of you know that in the recent review I did with Stardom, Saki Kashima missed out on 2 events. Well, it was reported by Tokyo Sports that she'll be missing 4 events in total. So basically, she's not going to participate in the upcoming ones. But however, it was revealed that the reason is this due to poor health issues. I do hope she gets enough rest and recovers from it. Now, PW Insider reports that Keith Lee was at the backstage in AEW Dynamite on February 5th. Don't know what he was doing. We don't know when he'll be planning. We do know he's been having health issues, but hopefully he'll be 100%. Now, speaking of PW Insider, has revealed that, of course, now the releases from AEW, Miro, formerly known as Rusev, Malachi Black, formerly known as, I forgot what he was back in WWE. But yes, so he'll be basically, those 2 are out. Now, Brian Alvarez recently talked about Chad Gable. Apparently, he'll be taking some time off from television, about hopefully to appear in AAA events. Let me pull that up real quick for what he said. Here it is. I've been told that, I don't know if this is true or not. I hope it is, that Chad Gable is actually going to be working some dates for AAA. So basically, he's going to do some dates down there. Now, we know that they don't have a relationship. WWE and AAA don't have a relationship yet, but I'm sure many people would definitely want to see that. We know that Conan has been like a guy who he has relations with WWE due to some friends, but it's still unclear about that. I'm sure many of the WWE loyalists would love to see that, because we do know that WWE does have a relationship with Noah, and they're trying to build a relationship the way AEW does too. So we'll see what happens. So we'll stay close to this as soon as possible. Now, many of you know this, that Indi Hartwell has been released from the promotion from WWE as well, and they gave her 90 days. And this is what she said: I know some people feel different about 90 days, but I feel the 90 days was a good to have, because when you lose your job, you just can't think of something straight away. You need that time to go through everything. I went through all the emotions, talked to people, got advice from people. There are a lot of people helping me, and I'm just excited to get my confidence back and be in control. I saw Matt Cardona tweet about being independent means everything is in your control, whether that is successful or failure. I'm excited to be in control of things now. So basically, people have been concerned for. I get it, because when you're released with a big company like WWE, you ask yourself, where do we go from here? Where do we go? Because I know that that's the last thing for any WWE superstar. You don't want to leave WWE, but yet they release you. But I'm sure she'll figure it out, and I'm sure she'll take Matt Cardona's advice to heart, because it is working for him. Because I know some of you would say that Matt Cardona will definitely be back, but he said he does not want to go back as Zack Ryder. But the ball is on WWE's court. So we'll see what happens until then. But for now, we are officially done with everything with our news updates. I believe it's time to call it a day. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, our primary concern we're going to be doing is NXT, so stay tuned for that. I haven't decided yet what else I'm going to do, but I do know we do have the latest New Japan show, the New Beginning in Osaka. That's definitely going to be something to consider, and the latest Stardom show. So we'll see how things will roll up. I do know there's a recent um, DDT event, recent Oz Academy. There's so much for everybody to, of course, for me to do, and of course ChocoPro, for example. So we'll see how that rolls up. But for now, we'll leave things as it is, and I'll say for the primary focus would be, of course, New Japan and NXT. So we'll see how that plays out. But for now, we'll say this that I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang!